Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to Loolaloo. Thanks for your support, Lula. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker, as we find ourselves at a bit of an impasse. Unfortunately, both of our leads have been exhausted, and neither told us where we need to go next, so I guess we'll just have a quick follow-up chat with Sana, and head back to Stagsfall. See what that gets us. She actually showed up. As you approach, Sana raises her head and sizes you up. She has changed her clothes since you saw her last. She wears a band across her brow, decorated with a three-eyed jackal, and a live rat with two heads is resting on her shoulders, looking cautiously at you from under her cascading hair. You came. The woman narrows one eye. What brings you here, Baron? Let's be careful here. How are things going with your cult? Sana smiles sweetly. I'm touched that you care, Baron. Worry not. Everyone receives Lamashtu's bliss, who needs it. You need not know who they are or what they ask. You sound as if you're not trying to attract new followers. The Mother of Monsters doesn't need sweet sermons, or criers yelling her name at the crossroads. When the other gods turn away from mortals, Lamashtu opens her embrace. When your subjects have nowhere to turn with their troubles, rumors and whispers bring them to the altar of the Mother of Monsters. It has always been this way, and it will always be. That almost makes sense. Tell me about your goddess. Sana shakes her head. The path of the Mother of Monsters cannot be embraced with words or reason alone. She can only be... The woman slides her fingers along her lips and bites them salaciously. Experienced. Yeah, I'm gonna hard pass on that. Every god or goddess has a history. Tell me how Lamashtu appeared. Once, Lamashtu was a great demon, the first of her kind to reach true divinity. She is the patron of monsters, many of which she bore herself. She is the mother of insanity, nightmares, chaos, and that peculiar beauty which fools call ugliness. Sana shrugs. You have your answer, and need hear nothing more. Great, thanks. Yeesh, these responses. Let's change the subject. As you wish. You mentioned you're not a local. Where are you from? Sana tilts her head ever so slightly. I was born in Varissia, in a small village on the Lost Coast. Despite the history of that place, it could never be home for me or my passions. Since then, I've traveled far, bringing Lamashtu's gifts to all who need them. Tell me about the Lost Coast. They say that in the olden days, this land was cradle for many of Lamashtu's children. But I don't know this to be true. Today it is too noisy for those who are like me. And I'm sure I'll regret asking, but what are these passions you speak of? Tsana smiles bleakly. I played with living toys long before I became a priestess of Lamashtu. As a child, I did not know my love for wickedness was the sign of a special destiny. Now I pluck out sheep's eyes and cut open pregnant cats, but not for my own amusement, but because Lamashtu loves suffering. How lucky am I? I don't like you. What happened to your leg? Tsana lifts the hem of her skirt, showing a leg disfigured with sores. Lamashtu's gift. I received it when I stepped upon the priestess's path. The blessing of the goddess. Look at its splendor. Not many servants of the Mother can boast such a gift. Enough of this. Tsana shakes her hands and wipes them on her dress. Look, about this woman, Olika. Oh, do you still think of her? Worry not. Lamashtu blessed Olika and invigorated her womb. The female gave birth to a child, and even survived herself. You wouldn't call the boy a pretty child, but he's the light of his suffering mother's eyes, and a symbol of Lamashtu's mercy. Oh, she gave birth already. Well, if nothing else, Lamashtu is certainly expedient. And what is this? What horrifying nightmare is this? Tsana gently touches one of the rat's snouts and strokes its sickly hide. Lamashtu's messenger. An exquisite creature, is it not? A sign that the goddess is pleased with me. It is a living embodiment of her ideals, and shares the mother's smile. One night this little creature just ran up to me, as if to her own mother, and I knew my loyal service had been noted by my lady. You know what? It is actually kind of cute. Everything else, though, horrifying. Nightmarishly horrifying. Man, I have got to say, I am not a fan of Tsana. I was really hoping she would have more dialogue options, specifically in regards to the current crisis. But it does not look like that's actually the case. I'm guessing that's information she'll only offer if we actually do end up recruiting her. And I guess we've come this far. Might as well see it through. Your knowledge and skills are unusual, but I appreciate unconventional abilities. Maybe you would make a good advisor, but probably not. Power and influence. Tempting for any leader. But tolerating a stinking city and foolish crowds for this. Tsana is silent for a few moments. I could accept the title of High Priestess, or Counselor, if you wish. Okay, so really she's basically just an evil option for 2 advisor slots that we already have filled. I mean, we could still kill her, but I guess it is good to have a backup, just in case something happens to Harem or Tristan. Alright, well, I guess we are done here. I'll admit it didn't go quite in the direction I was expecting it to, but it does like to keep me guessing.
All according to plan.
We're not seeing any event notifications, so guess we're headed back to Stagsfall.
I tire.
Yeah, well, suck it up. We've still got like 8 hours of walking ahead of us. Oh, there we go. In the name of the law. Simple enough to handle. Though, let's hold off for a second. Linzi has a suggestion. The bard is worried about one of your friends. Intriguing. Unrest in the streets. The people are gradually losing faith in their baron. Your associates anxiously await you in the castle, ready to discuss the current situation. Right, so there you have it. Completing those 2 leads basically just triggered our next main story event, but they were otherwise red herrings. Now, obviously, we do have some loot to sell, and we need to get some rest, so let's hit the pause button real quick, and we'll pick things up in the throne room. Be right back. The throne room is full of people. Your allies stand around the throne, waiting in silence as you approach. The atmosphere is tense. Today, you'll be discussing the strange and deadly blight that's recently struck your barony. The gloomy silence is only penetrated by loud chewing. Knock Knock has grabbed a whole fried chicken from the table and is busily devouring it, ignoring everyone else completely. John folds his hands on his chest. Well, now that we're all here, let's sum up what we know. We've each spent a lot of time and effort to learn what we can about where the monsters come from, and what's causing this strange disease. I hope this conversation can help shed some light on the situation. Keston shakes his head slowly. We need to hurry. If we don't find the source of this blight and eliminate it, we may end up with a rebellion on our hands. Let's summarize what we've found up to this point. Jod, Keston, and Tristan look at you closely. Jod, the surgery showed that it was magic seeds causing the disease, correct? Right. Judging from the location in the patient's bodies, these seeds were ingested. It seems likely that they're initially extremely small, almost invisible, and people simply swallow them with their food. Once the seed is in the stomach, it begins to grow and causes the symptoms we've seen in our patients. As soon as the seed gains enough strength, it sprouts and turns into a magic portal. Just like a bud turning into a flower, Erastil forgive me. Jod stares into the distance a moment. Something must have possessed me to say that. It really does look like blooming. Each seed tears the body of its victim, just as a flower tears its bud. Delightful, thanks for that. Keston, we discovered that the Lamashtu cultists weren't involved with the monster infestation. Keston nods. It doesn't mean they're innocent of other crimes, but the monster invasion, at least, is not their work. Hearing the name Lamashtu draws Knock Knock's attention. Mother is not to blame here. Told you, but who listens to me? Well, goblins obviously like having all these monsters around. To them, it's like a sign of Lamashtu's benevolence. Keston grunts. I'd say they're just excited by anything new that happens. I wouldn't be surprised if they're linked to this story somehow. But I doubt the seeds were created by goblin shamans. Besides, a plan like this seems a little beyond the local goblin chief's intelligence. Knock Knock raises his head. Know what I think? I think Goblin King is rotten lice scratcher. Shaman plays him like reed pipe, babbles about Lamashtu, then plots behind his back. Thank you, Knock Knock. Can you tell me where these monsters come from, Tristan? The ones that appear because of this bloom? Tristan raises his eyes from the papers on the table. Undoubtedly from some world alien to our own. All the monsters appearing from the bloom are exceptionally large and strong. It would be rare to encounter such specimens in the Stolen Lands, or even on most of Golarion. But it's impossible to say what it is that lies on the other side of the portals that's intent on killing your people. Thank you, Tristan. That tells us nothing. That's all I need to know about the results of the research. I'm assuming if we had recruited Sana, she'd be chipping in about now too, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. She is a monster. Keston and Jod exchange glances. Tristan continues to dig through papers. Can we keep people calm? Persuade them to wait a bit longer? Keston frowns. Your Grace, it's hard to expect loyalty and obedience from people in times like this. They're looking for something, or someone, to blame. I didn't want to be the one to say it, but... Jod cuts Keston off with a gesture. People think you're cursed, Your Grace, and it would be in your own best interests to quickly discover the cause of the disaster that keeps claiming the lives of your subjects. Working on it. Keston, are you still with the militia? The guard hesitates, furrowing his brow. Your Grace, I understand these people very well. They're tired of just waiting and hoping. But for now, I can guide their eagerness for action in a positive direction. I'm glad to help them avoid hasty decisions that could cause more trouble. At the same time, I'm convinced that a crowd of terrified villagers who've armed themselves can't truly be our salvation. This barony has a chance only so long as it has authorities and law. My top priority is helping you remain that authority and that law. Keston takes a deep breath after the unusually long speech. I just wanted to assure you that I'm on your side. Thank you, Keston. Jod, how did you come about these rumors of a curse? Jod bows his head. Each day I see dozens of infected, Your Grace. Many people have lost their loved ones, or fear they soon will. They all want to know what's going on, who deserves the blame, whose sins brought this blight upon them. Trust me, every day the number of people willing to pin the blame on you grows. They say you and your barony are cursed. Of course, I don't believe a word of it. This isn't a curse, but some disease, which has somehow manifested itself in your barony. Jod raises his eyes to meet yours. Trust me, I won't leave you until I find the source of this disease, regardless of what these poor people may say in their delirium. So, the bloom's essential properties are strange seeds getting into people's bodies, which cause their disease and eventually creates magic portals. Now we just need to discover where the seeds are coming from. Tristan, who'd been examining the map on the table from the shadows, gives a small cough. If I may, I've noticed an interesting detail. Well, two details to be precise. First, the seeds afflict mostly the villagers. There have been no recorded cases of disease within the city limits, except for those who came here looking for the cure. Jod nods. That's right. Thus, we can assume a common factor in how people are exposed to these seeds. Many villages get their food from the same territory. Tristan slowly shakes his head. I don't think food is the problem. Take a look. He points at the map. We have the most cases of the disease here, here, and over here. Monsters mostly attack here and here. The cleric's finger travels down the map, tapping points along a fluid line. You see? The situation is most dire along the banks of the Gudrun River. Everyone examines the map closely. Arrestal have mercy. Jod exhales slowly. Exactly. Along the river. That must be where the seeds come from. From their drinking water. Keston, the militia most often finds monsters by the river, right? We used to think the monsters were just coming to the river to drink. Keston rubs his forehead. But if what the cleric says is right... There are dozens of villages along the riverbanks, hundreds of people. How many are likely already infected? Jod looks at you closely. Are you suggesting we wait for them all to succumb to this bloom, Baron? Let's pray we can deal with the situation before that happens. That is not at all what I was suggesting. We have to go upstream and find the source of this blight. Knock-Knock jumps at your words. Take me! Me! The goblin bares his sharp, crooked teeth. I want to settle the score with the king! Keston straightens up and flexes his shoulders. If you allow me, Baron, I'd like to take the lead on this. I'll take the best members of the militia with me and sweep the woods along the river. We'll look under each and every rock if needed. Keston muffles a cough. After everything they've been through, these people deserve a chance to discover the source of their misfortunes. Wow, that sounds like a terrible idea. I think the absolute last thing we need is a bunch of desperate, poorly trained villagers storming a den of monsters. But I do appreciate the thought. No, Keston, we have to deal with this carefully and rationally. Go to your people and await my arrival. Okay, bye, I guess. Oh, welcome back. Keston casts his eyes down. You're right, of course, Your Grace. I'll order my men to get ready immediately. We'll await your arrival and then make our move. Keston gives a short bow, turns around, and leaves. Slightly misfiring animation there. Either that, or Keston is yelling at us across the throne room. Tristan, how did you find the link between the disease and the river? The cleric glances pensively at the map. You see, Baron, these seeds are not the only sign of something abnormal at work. Remember the ruins where we first met? The glade near those ruins, full of huge flowers? Glades such as that tend to appear all over the stolen lands. Seems strange, does it not? Especially if we take into account that the magic seeds and the portals that they create look like flowers themselves. Jod even called this disaster the bloom. I'd like to research this natural phenomenon, and perhaps... Tristan stops talking as loud. Hasty steps are heard from the main entrance. Keston runs into the room. Your Grace, we have trouble. The peasants are rioting. That's the only solution these nitwits could come up with. Don't worry, Baron. As long as they're not setting fire to the streets, we still have a chance of coming to a peaceful resolution. If you allow me, I'll go and speak with them. Do my best to calm the crowd down. And if peace doesn't prevail, your guards and I will stand with you. Let's go. I can hear their shouting even from here. The murmuring crowd takes up almost the entire square. The murmuring turns to shouts at your arrival, and a stone flies out of the crowd and strikes the cobbles at your feet. There he is, out at last, damn his eyes. Please, hear me out before you lynch me. I know you're tired and disgruntled. I am too. Day after day, I and my companion seek a solution to your misfortunes. We've saved so many from this fatal disease, and if the gods have mercy, we can save even more. So please, let us do what we can. Return to your homes, to your loved ones. They need you, just as I need your patience and good faith. The crowd before you sways and mumbles. People look at one another, talk in a hushed tone, shake their heads and frown. It seems the rebels who were screaming and jeering a moment ago lost all their confidence. Finally, one of the peasants opens his mouth. The Baron is right. You really believe this? It's pure nonsense. Don't you get it? We could run the Baron through, but it wouldn't change a thing. He's of more use to us alive than dead. So be it, Baron. We'll let you pass. But don't forget, we're trusting you with our lives. Find the source. Save our children from this terrible sickness. I guess that's it. Seems a little too, easy. I have to imagine it wasn't just the fact that we're good aligned, but also the recent events that we resolved successfully. Looks like we've also got a new delivery. I'm assuming this is Verask. Yep. Raiding and tempered in blood. That is definitely Verask. Well, thank you for the breastplate of afterlife. Anyway, it was amusing work. But I could give you something even more impressive. A weapon worthy of Gorham's herald. But I'll need your help with something. Come by if you're interested. Aha, a new crafting quest. Unfortunately, that will have to be a secondary priority, at least until we resolve the current crisis. Also, given that Verask is almost certainly chaotic neutral or chaotic evil, I'm sure it's going to be something terrible. Hello, Your Grace. Feels strange. It's amazing I can just go and have a chat with an actual Baron. I wanted to talk about Ekin. I'm worried about him lately. Although, worried might be too strong a word. He is way too gloomy. Even more so than usual, if that's possible. Life without a family must be hard for him. But he is not completely alone. He has us. I know we can't replace what he lost, but we must remind him that we are here and he can talk to us. Linzi, what exactly are you getting at? What I'm getting at is that we should hold a merry revelry and use the opportunity to talk to him, heart to heart. If we just invite him for a drink, he'll no doubt refuse, so we must organize everything in secret. We'll gather guests, prepare food and drink, bring Ekin, and have so much fun. I'll even bring my loot. What do you say? Linzi, you do understand we're in the middle of a crisis here, right? I mean, your heart's in the right place, and I applaud your efforts to tend to the mental health of our compatriots, but I literally just told a bunch of angry, rioting peasants that their safety was my #1 concern. Yes. Helping Ekin is our comradely duty, and if we need to throw a feast to do that, then that's what we're going to do. I'm not sure I'd put it like that, but I'm glad you agree. Yeah, that was kind of weird, wasn't it? I've talked to Alina the innkeeper, and she's happy to help us. Although, between us, I'm not sure what made her so enthusiastic. Anyway, you should talk to her, and I should go and think what I'm going to play. And one more thing, don't be late. I fear if we don't pull Ekin out of his mood now, it'll be too late. Oh, is this actually timed? That might be a little more problematic. Also, we're definitely seeing some misfiring events here, because this is the second time Varask has walked in. Only this time he doesn't have a gift for us. On the bright side, this does actually give us a chance to custom tailor his next delivery. Khalid-style weapons. I'm not sure what that is. Well, we'll just play it safe and stick with armor. We're more likely to get use out of that. Though magic weapons do tend to have a better resale value. Well, maybe next time. Alright, so new crafting quest. New companion quest. Though, this one actually has me a little concerned. If it is time sensitive, we might want to finish it before we actually wrap up Season of the Bloom. Unfortunately, from what I understand, it is possible to derail a companion quest, and if you do, you basically doom that companion. Better safe than sorry, I suppose. Thank you, storyteller. Let's have a quick peek at the table. Event resolved, +1 community. Event resolved, quest in progress. Thought we had... Oh, right. I went ahead and assigned Tristan to that opportunity when I was doing bookkeeping off screen. Okay, let's go have a chat with Alina.
That is not far.
As you approach, the red-headed innkeeper curtsies awkwardly. Your Grace. You must have come to talk about the feast for Ekundeo. I'd be happy to. I'll provide food and drinks. Everything will be first class. Okay, how much will this idea cost me? Don't mention it, Your Grace. It's such an honor for me. Everything is on the house. Who will serve at the feast? With your permission, Your Grace, for such an honor, with such esteemed guests, I'd like to do it myself, Your Grace. Alina smiles awkwardly, turning an even brighter red. I commend your enthusiasm, but why would you? Oh, Your Grace, isn't it so? It'd be my pleasure. I hope everyone likes it, including Ekundeo. Then we need only to agree on the place. I guess there's no two ways about it. We'll have to have it right in this room. We can decorate it, of course. Forgive me, but if we are thinking about the same Ekundeo, he will likely feel uncomfortable indoors. The feast must definitely be held in the woods, if Madam Innkeeper is up for such a challenge. Alina is speechless, either due to astonishment, indignation, or both. Who are you? The woman stands tall with a calm smile. My name's Natavi. I'm passing through the city. Ekin and I know each other from long ago, since back when he guarded caravans. We traveled together for a long time. Pursing her lips, the innkeeper studies Natavi carefully. Why would Ekin want a feast in the woods? He is a born ranger. He always feels calmer under an open sky. I know him well. Can you think of a suitable place? How about the Royal Hunting Grounds? I've seen the place in passing. It's not far from the city. It's a cozy nook, and there's water nearby. I'm pretty sure that place is infested with monsters, but what do you say, Alina? The innkeeper sizes up the woman opposite her. I might not know Ekundeo as well as some, but I see no trouble in holding a feast in the woods, or on a mountain, or in a swamp for that matter. Wonderful. In that case, I'll gladly meet both of you in the agreed-upon place. I've seen a lot since as a keeper here, but when one just invites herself like that... The innkeeper clicks her tongue. Oh, what got into me, grumbling. It's high time to start cooking. Your Grace, please take care of bringing Ekundeo to the agreed place. Linzi and I will do the rest. Yeah, okay. Duly noted. So, the hunting grounds, huh? That is almost literally right outside of Stagsfall. And it's on the way to our next destination, so there's really no reason to hold off on doing it. I mean, aside from the obvious awkward timing. Okay, well, I was hoping we'd get to some actual adventuring today, but we're almost at the 40-minute mark, so it doesn't look like that's actually going to happen. That aside, I suppose I really should go make sure Knock Knock is leveled up and properly equipped. I've had a few people ask if we could temporarily slot him into the party, and this does seem like a good time for it. Anyway, we'll go ahead and hit the pause button for now. I'll take care of that off screen, decide who we can do without, and we will pick up here next time, as we head back out to the hunting grounds for what I feel might be a slightly premature celebration. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Pathfinder Kingmaker, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official YouTube and Twitch channels, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages over on Steam or on GOG. Links are in the description.